Hello, Akku here again. Welcome back to FTB Direwolf 1.7.10. Check me out. I'm starting in my creative single player world. Just want to show you over the period of 40 episodes what I've done in my little test world here. I want to show you the sword as well. Look at this. It's absolutely awesome. I've already forgot the name of it. It's called. Oops, that one. It is called Kikoku. It's from Extra Utilities, and there's a really trolly way that apparently you can get it, but if you search for it on Reddit, you end up getting a Rick Astley record, I think, and not this sword. But apparently it's a secret ritual in Extra Utilities that DW20 was added. That's really cool. That is a lovely looking sword. I like it. I'm hoping it becomes craftable or attainable sometime, because that is what I'd be using all the time if I could do it in survival. So yeah, as far as show you my little test world before we start the episode. It's a well download episode, of course, and there will be a well download available once this episode goes out. So this world, I don't know what that is. I don't know how I made that. I can't remember. This world I've been playing on the last couple of episodes, working out reactors, Endarian versus Ludicrate. My 7x7 against a 9x9. That's I found on the spreadsheet I mentioned, and that is I was going to maybe set up a 9x9 can put out 4,000 millibuckets a tick. So I could have one of them with a turbine either side of it. So I may change my design to that, but I'm not actually doing it very well because I can't actually get it to put out 4,000 millibuckets. It keeps. Oh, it is now. Oh Christ, what's going on there? Well, that's just weird, isn't it? Something very strange happening there. It's going to the 4,000 though, so it is doing it now. Last time I was playing with this, it wasn't doing 4,000 properly. But yeah, so you can. This one, the max steam this can put out is about 2,500. That one can put out 4,000. So that could run 2 turbines, is basically. Anyway, just thought I'd show you a couple of things. There's a drill. I've been playing with this. I've just been working out how to use P2P tunnels on Applied Logistics. I think over the next couple of episodes I want to change my base around a bit. I might have to change my ME spider a little bit because I'm going to start utilising these. Someone said in a comment a couple of episodes back that I should have a P2P channel for each room, and I think that's a great idea. So I would have a P2P tunnel coming into each of the rooms in the wings of the base, so then each room's got 32 channels to play with. I think that's the way to go. So I've just been, this is of course an inefficient thing, but I've just been working out how to do P2P, and I've had different colours on this. I've had blue and green and purple and all sorts of different ones, and then I've put them all into one and stuff. So I've been playing around with that. As you can see, that's how I was working out the front of the building. There's all kind of stuff. And that was the actual original temple that I built before I built the one under the base. Some tinier stuff. But this is the kind of thing that you that was a temple there, and I actually knocked it down again. That was a temple using the Buildcraft builder that when I moved it. Playing with reactors designs. My tester, my mob spawner, working out a tier 6 altar. Yeah, let's ignore that. That did work. Yeah, it did form. That's a max size turbine, by the way. But I couldn't be bothered finishing it. And there's a little mini turbine. Laputa Island with the test of the demon invasion. Make sure it contained it. I think there's actually 2 of them here. Yeah, there is. Look. All kind of stuff. So that's the kind of thing that when I say I'm going to jump into my test world, this is the kind of thing I'm doing. I'm messing around with stuff like this, making sure shit works, and I understand what I'm doing with it. Anyway, let's jump back into the overworld. So, done a little bit of stuff between episodes as always. I have extended the turbine network. Wow. So this was on about 13,500. It's going down, as you can see. It's on 11,000. I think it's just under 12,000. If we look, yeah, 11,947. It's going down. That's an issue. We would eventually run out. Now, I've got them 6 yellow focus things in that turbine there, in that laser drill, just behind the wall there. But that's not cutting it. I'll show you for why it's not cutting it. Now, what I should do is, if I'm going to maintain having these focus things in, is I should use the green ones, because I think it's the lime green ones, because the lime green ones focus on uranium rather than yellowite, and you get a bit more bang for your buck. So if, by the way, if you press U with these, someone told me this in a comment as well. Let's just take that one out a minute. Press U. There you go. It shows you what kind of increased chance you get. So I'm getting sulfur, gold, yellowite, and glowstone blocks. That's what the yellow one increases. So in fact, let's put that back in there and look at them in here. I can't spell. So the lime one, there we go. You see emerald and uranium increased chance, and I have actually been using the brown one for a bit because I was getting increased because I wanted more iron just to start off with. But that's pretty cool. It shows you what increases the chance of what. So I like that. That's good. I don't want to use it though. I've got a different idea. Now, as you can see, we've got a second laser drill running here, and we've got the wiring in for 2 more. Even though I've not actually put the things in right down at bedrock for these middle ones. But that's 2 laser drills running this side. And if we come over this side, we've got 2 laser drills running this side as well. So I'm actually running 4 laser drills full time. And I'm doing that because I've got 4 turbines. I've got 1 in each room. Oh, I've not finished that floor. I've got 4 turbines running. I've actually throttled them down a little bit. And the way I've done it, when I showed you last time, is I was coming to here and I was doing shift control and changing the rods there. What I've actually done, I've changed it around a little bit. I've moved the redstone reactor port onto the front here, because what you can do in that is you don't actually have to have redstone attached to this. If you click on the input change control rod insertion, let me get rid of any eye. If you click on that, you can still while off, you can set your percentage there, and you can just commit it and it'll change all the control rods. So you can actually use that as a manual control for all your control rods. So as you can see there, this is not running massively efficient. I've got it at 25% because at 20% it makes hardly any difference on there. It's 0.34 instead of 0.36, so I'm not making much difference there really, so I could just put it back to 20 and it'll be fine. 20 will run the turbine at its most efficient. So now that's 3.6. 25, I'm still getting more than enough power. So there you see, that's gone back to 3.4, so it's just a little bit more efficient. What that's doing up here is, I built these little gantries, but I've not finished this one, it seems. I forgot to make more glass. I thought I'd done that. You see it's not running quite as good as it could. It's only running at 24,000 RF a tick. It runs at 28,000, 27, 28,000 if I have it actually using 2,000 millibuckets. But the thing is, I've got 4 of these running, which is giving me a total of about 100,000, so about 100 million RF a tick a minute, yeah, 100 million RF. Ridiculous. Let's run this where I've got this little power monitor. So if you look in there, my average output is 80,704. So the 700 is the AE system, I'm guessing, and the occasional and the processing of the ores. That's not using much at all. The AE system must use more than 700. But, as you can see there, 80,000 is 80,000 is 4 laser drills. So that's just running all the time. So because everything's full, some of that power is getting wasted out the turbines anyway. If I was to let some run down, then say if I was to really throttle them and let them run down quite a bit, then you would see that I can actually put out, when they're all running at 20%, I'm actually putting out about 116 million RF. So I don't need to run out 116 million. I could actually have another laser drill running just on what I've got now, but I'm going to actually add 4 more turbines, and so I've got a massive excess of power. Is basically what I'm saying. I never need to turn these off either, because we are going to make it so they're running yellow and positive. Then I mentioned last time about getting some kind of control on turning them on and off. I'm just going to leave them on all the time. I've had them running for a couple of days now, and it's using about 500 yellorium a day, so I'm not going down by much. If you remember, I was down to about 700 iron. If you look at my iron situation now, we're at 10k. If you look at my ores in total, you see this is all the ores that it's been bringing in. So I've got like 3,000 redstone, 2,000 nether quartz, but then there's my ingots are all getting automatically processed, of course. So from 700 iron, plus the fact that I've made 3 more turbines, then I'm up to 10,000. So this is I run it for a few hours and I checked and it was alright. So I've actually run it for a couple of days while I've been doing my videos on my other series, and it's alright. So that's all good. I like that a lot. Instead of putting focus in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of items. What I'm going to do is, this is also from a comment, someone kindly let me know. Yeah, I'm going to change things around a bit. I'm going to leave these with the Ender IO stuff, just using the 0 channels, because I kind of like the fact that that's using 0 channels. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making these ones into a P2P room, so that all that in there could just use 1 channel rather than using a bundle of channels. So yeah, it's the way to go in it. It's because when I first said a P2P, it was a super soaring drive. That's kind of not cheaty, but it's kind of defeating the object of them, or the network's meant to work. I kind of, you know what I mean? It's each their own, of course. But I've kind of stayed away from P2P too much. What I should be using it for, I think its intended use, is to create sub networks in rooms like this. So rather than have one huge network, I should have a main network that each has sub networks off it using P2P. So that's what I'll be doing. Right. What I'm going to be doing in here is I'm going to make, what have I been doing in there? Don't know. I don't even know. Oh, I was making some shiny ingots off using rich slag. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing anyway. What I'm going to do across the back of this room is I'm going to have a induction smelter that's going to take in sand and redstone. What that's going to do for me is I'm going to make it a resonant one as well, like this one is, and fully upgrade its speed like this one is. It's going to bring in sand and redstone. What that's going to do for me, let's find a redstone block. Redstone, there we go. Sand and redstone ore is going to give me redstone blocks, so it's going to get me 9 redstone per, but it's also going to give me a lot of rich slag. What I'm going to do with the rich slag is then I'm going to use that in another induction smelter next to it with Yellorium. Rich slag, Yellorium ore gets me 3 Yellorium ingots. So rather than getting 2 Yellorium, I'll be getting 3 Yellorium ingots for each ore, and uranium. So basically I'm going to try processing using rich slag to see if that makes me Yellorium positive. And if it does, then I don't have to use any of them focus things. If it doesn't, I still do. So it's just a bit of an experiment, really. I need to see if I get enough rich slag from the redstone. I could also, if I really wanted to, I could also manufacture cinnabar, because that does the same thing. So if we look in there again at recipes, as well as rich slag making 3, I can also use cinnabar. That's gold, but you get the gist. I can also craft cinnabar because I've got that automated, and that's actually pulverizing the redstone to get cinnabar, or crafting it the way I've got it. I've got the crafting for cinnabar set up already, haven't I? So I think I can be Yellorium positive without having focuses, just for the sake of it. But that's it. If I do need to go to focuses, I can. So because I'm running them with yellow, am I getting loads of gold as well? Like I say, I've got 10,000 gold. That's actually quite nice. But yeah, I've only got focuses in that one laser drill. The other 3 I've not got anything in. So there, I think, just get a general amount of stuff. Right, what I need to do then is I'm going to make a couple of induction smelters, and I shall be back when they're done. Couple of another comment. Thank you very much. I had put acceleration cards in one of the molecular assemblers up here somewhere. Wherever it is it in there? I put acceleration cards in one of them, and I forgot to put the acceleration cards in the other 2, which is why my crafting was going a little slow. I think I need to expand this somewhat, because this and that is also pretty slow, so I might make a room for them and extend these down there, so I've got a few more of these as well. Right, back in a little bit when I've got some induction smelters made. Okay then, I'm doing this a little bit quick and dirty because I'm not sure how I'm going to rewire all this, so I don't want to commit too much time to this, just in case I pull all this out anyway if I do that when I do the P2P thing. So all I've done is I've run power cable around to these two upgraded resonant induction smelters, and I didn't want that to happen, so that's a first mistake I've done. And I've got my ME conduit here. Now the way this is a little bit weird the way I'm doing this. I think it's not totally efficient. What I've got down here is, I don't want to turn that because that's really breaking stuff. I broke the cyanide reprocessor with the terror shatterer and it destroyed it, so be careful with a terror shatterer. I left that in the mana pool for a day or so. It's up to an S, it's not up to a double S yet, but it's pretty ridiculous as it is. So what I've got here is I've got an ME interface, and above that is my ME conduit, and that's a yellow channel in. So anything that goes into this ME interface, so if I put in the config there, so I've got a stack of these items going in, I've left one empty so things can come back into it. So the cyanide ingot came back in there. I think you have to leave one empty to let things come back in, otherwise there's nowhere for it to come through. I'm not sure about that bit. I could be totally wrong with that bit, but as you can see, this is exporting all them things out. So that's exporting sand into the yellow channel of the Ender IO system. Yeah, but that one's full, so I made another one over here. So this is kind of like my AE export into the system. So I've got redstone ready to go out of that one, and again yellow. So anything that I want to export out the system is going to go in ME interface down there. I think it's probably a terrible way of doing things. I could, well, no, it kind of works. Yeah. So now all I've got to do to get something out of the system that's in one of them ME interfaces is bang a yellow channel on the ME conduit, put in a filter and put the item that I want, and it gets me it. So the first thing I've cocked up here though is in the configuration. I don't want that to be blue. I want that to be green, because that just fills that one slot. So I don't want it to fill in both slots. On the top, and I want to add a conduit. It's already got a conduit. It's just not connected. I know why it's not connected, because I'm an idiot. Yeah. Let's turn it back off. It's not connected because that's not asking for a connection. So that one wants to be purple. There we go. So that I can now connect to the top on the purple. So I'm going to go to insert, and it shouldn't put anything in because we've got nothing. Green's back into the AE system, not out of it, so nothing should come in on green. So now we can put in a filter and say we want redstone to come in from that, and you saw I'd add it to the ME conduit, the ME interface down there. So now if we go to the green channel, sorry, if we go to the yellow channel, what we should see is bam, there we go. And you can see with the speed upgrades, that's pretty quick. So that's going to start processing my 3,000 of redstone that I've got from the laser drills up to now. So I'm getting an absolute ton of redstone, so that can go back in there. Now what I need to do is use that rich slag that it's producing. So we're getting redstone blocks. I could now pulverize these redstone blocks into... No, I couldn't. I made that bit up. I don't pulverize them all the way. Yeah, I made that bit up. Ignore that bit. It's pulverizing redstone ores in it that you can get cinnabar. So anyway, this now needs to go into the ME network. So I could run that rich slag straight into this, but that means if this had 64 in, that'd get backed up. So I'm actually just going to send all this straight into the AE network. So my AE in, that wants to be both them channels, the orange one. And both of them, AE in is just green. So extract, that should push anyway. Yeah, it has. Have you got nowhere to go? I might have nowhere to go. Let's go quickly check. Is I think it can't be full. I may be getting backed up on stuff. Look at that. Wow. First time I've seen a mob in here in weeks. I was just having a look around seeing where mobs can actually spawn. I don't have a magnum torch or anything in this base. This base is just totally... I've tried, like, the outside's not lit. Everywhere inside is actually fully lit. I didn't want to do it with magnum torches. I wanted to actually light the place. So there's nowhere inside that mobs can spawn. But outside here, I've been a bit slack. And mobs can spawn out here and stuff, look. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen a mob in here in weeks. So, that can't be full. No, that's not full. We've got a place for rich slag to go. So why is rich slag not going anywhere? Should it be going in there? Should it not? This floor, yeah. Oop. Come on, guy. Piss off into the network. It's just this, it's not quick enough. It's gonna be not quick enough, is it? So if I put that to just the bottom one to it to go out. Okay, yeah. So that needs speed upgrades. Because this is producing stuff only as quick as it can get rid of the redstone, and not both. That's good to know. So let's see how many speed upgrades we need. There's something we can check. And of course, if I do a P2P, I should be able to put a terminal in every room as well, which would be nice. So speed. I probably only need one or two of these. I'll just make a quick 38. There we go. See, that was nice and quick, wasn't it? So if I put one in there, not good enough. If I put two in there, I could just bang 15 in and just not worry about it. Also not good enough. Okay, put 8 in there. Wow, that's surprising. It's not the speed of that, is it? It's the speed that's pushing. I've got it wrong. I've got that totally wrong. So if I actually make this pull, right, okay. So if I take them back out, I don't think I even need them, do I? No, right. It's because I had that on its pushing using that thing, and that push is pretty slow. Whereas if I have that on its pull, that's actually pulling out the block rather than just letting that push it, and that's quick enough. Okay, so that's all good. So now then onto this one. What this one we want is, we want to go insert, we want a filter, and we want rich slag to this side. And we want that to be yellow, because we're going to add rich slag to that yellow channel. There's none in there yet, so none's going to come in. Let's shift right click in the middle, just blanks all them, just so you know. And we're going to want that side to be green. We want that side to be purple. And we're going to want that side to be an output. I don't think we get any bonus stuff. Well, if we do, we get normal slag. So we want that side to be orange. So that, again, wants to be the same. It wants to always pull. This wants to be an insert with a filter in. We want yellorium and what do you call it? Yellorium and uranium. So next up, then we need to come back down here. Add rich slag to this. I want to actually want. Okay, let's. How do I make that bigger? No, not shift click. That's a spam click. That's a spam click, aye. So I want that to keep moving a stack of that stuff. If anywhere needs speed upgrades, it's probably in there, isn't it? That could probably do with speed upgrades. I'll bang them in there. Not going to wait, is it? Has that one got any in? Nope. What? Oh, it's in out. No, that one ain't got any in. Okay, anyway, never mind. So now what we should have. Right, hang on. I need uranium and yellorium. So what I've done now is I've taken uranium and yellorium out of that, because of course that, if you remember, goes to the sag mills. So uranium and yellorium have gone out the sag mill input, which means I can put something else in, something like dark iron, I guess, or because I didn't have room today. What we've got? Let's have a look. Look at all this stuff, Christ. dark iron, we might as well process that, haven't we? And shiny ore I don't actually want to process using cinnabar or rich slag as well, so I don't want to put that through. And a lot of this stuff I'm probably going to bin. So up to now I've got 16 yellowite and 3 uranium, so I haven't got much since we started doing this a little bit. I stopped that going in there just on the cut there, so what I want to do is I want to add dark iron to that. There we go. And I want to add dark iron to that blacklist, so it doesn't come into the A network, it goes straight into there. But of course the issue I've got now is, because the dark iron is actually in here, it actually wants to go back into this, doesn't it? And where that's all going now, not that I'm going to use 3000 dark iron. I could use it for building, it actually looks very nice. Dark iron blocks look pretty cool. Don't want that dark steel coming out of there, what we're doing. You can piss off, get my way. So you see the actual capacity of our sag mills is, and alloy smelters is massively more than the speed of what we're getting stuff in at. I could have done like maybe 2 or 3 of these, but you can see because I chucked all that dark iron in, it's still only using, you can see by how many of these are not being used. Massive overkill. Because the laser drills, they don't pull stuff that quick, but there you go, that's, as you can see in there, that's pretty much filled up, isn't it? Cool. So I'm actually using all this, there's none in there, so there's no backup. Well, I'm actually using pretty much all them, just to process that dark iron that was slung in there real quick. I kind of like that, that's nice. So what I can do now then is, in this one at the top, I want yellorium and I want uranium to come in there. That wants to go yellow. And nothing's going to happen yet, because I need to add it to the ME conduit down there as well, don't I? So, oh, get off. Damn thing. So, oh, falling down a hole. Health and safety, I need to put barriers around them. So I want yellorium. Well, actually, I just want one die. One will do, because the speed it comes in at, not that that matters, it just looks tidier. The speed that comes in at, it's only going to go out slow anyway. So even with these 4 laser drills running, if you see the speed that stuff's coming into that chest, it's not very quick. It's just steady and constant. So 1, 2. So that's each laser drill pulling its block. So of course when I've got 8 laser drills in, it'll be a bit quicker, but not massively quicker. But what we should be seeing now, if I fail flying, I might as well just use the elevator. Wrong room. You think I move too quick? I keep running into doors and stuff. You reckon? Feedback is appreciated. So what we should see now is this is going to process them into 3s whenever it gets one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut camera. I'm going to go away for about an hour. I've got to go out in about 2 hours, so the episode's not going to be that long. I'm going to cut for about an hour. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make more. I'm going to make 4 more turbines and 4 more reactors. I don't know what to do with the reactor thing, to be honest. I could pull these out and then make a 9x9x3 up there that'll run 4,000 millibuckets. But it's not like I'm short on resources, and it doesn't actually. It's not actually much more fuel efficient, because slightly. But I might just have 2 reactors in each room rather than 1 reactor with 2 turbines on it. Although 1 reactor with a turbine either side does look really cool. I just don't think I've got time for it today, because like I said, I've got to go out in a bit. I'll have a think, back in a bit. Back then for a bit of a status update. This was an actual happy accident, by the way. I realised that the height I'd put the controller there was the right height for putting a gantry out, so I ended up putting this gantry out. That's glass slabs chiselled into the can't do it in there, can you not? It's glass slab chiselled into the I can't remember, is it iron grid pattern? That works out very nice. So what I've done up here is I've just been extending the gantry there for this level, is I decided for now to go with another 4 reactors, and I may change this later on. Fail. I may change this later on to have 1 reactor feeding 2 turbines, but I kind of like the way it's filling these towers out, because they did look a bit empty, and it's going to take a lot to fill these out. So having separate reactors lets me have these 5 block gaps in between. That's not a 5 block gap, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 6 block gap. OCD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not really allowed to do that. I'm gonna have to move that down 1. Oh no, that's why I did. I moved that up 1 so that would actually line up with the floor. Right. Okay. So that's actually a 6 block gap between them 2 then. So we've got reactor and turbine 1 down there, and I guess this will become reactor and turbine 2. Now, again, I could have this sat right on top of there, and the input and output on the liquid and the steam would just sit and sort each other right out. But I'm going to do it like this just so I can spread things out. And as you can see, we're actually at the top of this. We're actually into the top of the tower, which is where I want it to be. So I can actually build the tunnel there, the funnels on top when we're at that point. So that's kind of good. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like this for now, and I may change it later on and have 1 9x9x3 reactor in the middle, pushing out onto a turbine out the side, because I think that'll kind of look cooler, to be honest. But it's just going to take a bit of reworking. It's not like I'm going to lose many materials. The turbines are exactly the same. I will lose a bit of material in the reactors, but not so much. I mean, I'll have 4 spare controllers and stuff, but that's not a big deal, is it? The amount of resources I'm getting. Plus, of course, my laser drill capacity is going to be doubled. And if you think about it, the amount of power I've got, I could be running plenty of quarries and stuff as well if I really wanted to be resource positive. So I'm at the point, really, resource wise, I'm in creative mode, aren't I? Because I've got that much power, I can create that many resources. Right, let me just finish this off, and I'm going to jump down the bottom there. So what I'll try and get done before the world download is I'll try and get, after I finish recording this episode, I'll put this on, I'll get this uploading, and then in the morning, before I actually put the world download, it takes about an hour for me to get the world download up, so I need to do it at least, well, about an hour and a half, because my upstream shit. I'll try and get all 4 of these turbines and reactors made and put online, so that the world download will have all 8 turbines and all 8 reactors running. So let's have a look down here. First of all, I made a stack of reactor casings, so I've actually used a stack of Yellorium in that, so I'm already going to be a little bit Yellorium down on what I was. If you remember, I think was it 11,950, I think, earlier in the episode. So if you look what we're at now, we're at 11,930, plus I've used a stack making them, so we're at 12,000. So we are Yellorium positive from the redstone. Now, depending on, so what we should have no redstone blocks, ore blocks, and we haven't. We've got 3,000 actual redstone blocks, which is ridiculous. We should have some rich slag left over, so we've got plenty of rich slag. So any Yellorium, so we need to see if that keeps up with the redstone. It's looking like it's going to, isn't it? So we need to see if that keeps up. I think I can probably end up taking them out, them focus things there, and remain Yellorium positive, but we shall see. So for now I'm going to leave them in, so just this one is running. I tell you what, balls to it, let's take them out. So I shall see. I mean, as long as that's of a, let's say, keep a buffer at 10,000, I'm happy, you know what I mean? Put them back into the system there. If that starts going down, I'm not going to start changing anything now until it gets to below 10,000. What I've also not used, of course, is all this cyanite. If I process that into plutonium, I can run 1 or 2 reactors off that, at least one anyway. I mean, I'm getting nearly the same amount as I have there, so I could probably run 2 reactors off the plutonium. So I'll set up processing for that as well, and I think we're going to be fine for Yellorium without any focuses in. Cool. Right, I am actually going to wrap up the episode there. I've not done much, but like I say, I'm a bit real life inhibited today. So I'm going to say thank you as always for watching, and I hope I shall see you next time. Cheers, bye.